assisted living facilities accept Medicaid?
Yes. So Medicaid is Arizona long-term care. So that's all techs. And so there are specific communities in Arizona and specific assisted living environments, care homes, as well as those memory cares, the behavioral, all of those that are not independent living are specifically contracted with the state of Arizona to allow for folks to utilize that to pay for them to live there. And I can talk all day about Medicaid and all techs and all of that, but that is a big thing that I love to talk to people about so they understand. Many folks need to utilize Arizona's Medicaid system, whether it's because of health issues and medical conditions, or utilizing it as a financial safety net in the future, because many of my folks don't have money that's going to last them forever. And so all these communities that are in Arizona and care homes, and we keep getting more and more, the majority of them are private pay only. So when you live there, if you can't pay anymore, you have to leave. And so that's where I like to educate people about, if Medicaid, whether that is because of a financial reason or a medical reason, is ever going to be needed, we have to be very specific about those places that we look at for them to utilize, because not every place has a contract with the state. And also, if a place has a contract with the state, there's nothing that mandates that they have to use it. So we have to be really specific with our families about looking at that total picture and understanding how the different environments contract with the state to be able to use Medicaid.
I like that, because people really need to understand the cost. I think that we'll roll into that being our next question, because most people have a fear of, can I afford living in a senior, or I can't afford to live in a senior community, or how am I going to afford living in a senior community?
Yeah, because a lot of my folks will say, well, my friend moved to senior living and it costs her this many thousands of dollars and I can't afford that, because everybody has a friend that has, this story. And that is, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of families over the years, and I can tell you that there are very few where we don't have any options. Okay, the majority of my folks, when we sit down and put pen to paper after seeing different environments and getting the information, the prices, the numbers, what they want, what they need, what will be good for them with the trajectory of their diseases that they're challenged with, or age, or things that they want. Usually when we put pen to paper and we look at those things like VA, aid and attendance pension, for a lot of my folks, they can tap into that benefit, all text planning, and looking at what do they have, long-term care policies that a lot of my folks don't even realize or remember they have. And many of them, I have a case right now where a sweet gal, she's got a long-term care policy, and all over the policy it says nursing home, nursing home, nursing home. And she's like, oh hell no, I'm not using this, I'm not going to a nursing home. And I'm like, okay, it's old verbiage. This is an old policy. The policy and the criteria match exactly what we have in our directed care assisted living communities that are right down the street from you. So it's all about looking at that total picture and putting it on paper and having them see the reality of what this is. And many of them can do it. But we have to look at the total picture for them to have the confidence to know that this is sustainable. And for some of my folks, we engage some caregiving assistance. We do other things knowing that we're going to utilize the assets for them in the future when it is time for them, or they feel like they're ready. Like, I can't wait to move to senior living, honestly.
I know. We did a tour once, and there was like happy hour every day at 5 and all the different clubs. I was like, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
if
ready.
I don't get the call of what's for dinner or what are we doing for dinner, and I'd be like, hey, I don't know, but when we get to the restaurant, you can decide.
I love that.